was a scam. So these are some of the things that have happened. And I have a few other points to make, just to make sure that nobody has to pay a bribe. Last year, September, I was in one of the prisons, Maidstone prison in UK, to talk to some Ghanaians, and then later I had a second meeting with other African foreign national offenders in the prison. And one of the key questions that came up was that here we give the reintegration funds to immigration officers, and then they have to come and pay a bribe, or the NGOs, they have to bribe them before they receive their package. Nobody does that with the Ghana funds, and I'm not sure the UK Home Office reintegration or returns program, there's been any case of that sort. The money goes directly to the NGO and it is disbursed, and they are properly audited every time. As I say, I do my checks every month, and then annually there's auditing, and everything else reflects the right picture. Then NECPAD, that's NGO, is always ready to meet anybody who signs up upon arrival. There was this, and now that we talked about you being in the Midlands, there was this lady who was being returned from Manchester, and she got off the radar in terms of being assigned to the NGO to prepare to support her because she was pregnant at the time. So I think in the detention center, the IRC or wherever she was allowed to give birth and then nestle the baby for a couple of months before being returned. So when she got to Ghana, fortunately, the sensitization that we had done to the officers at the airport, one lady from the BNI, that's the Bureau of National Intelligence or Investigation, had one of our flyers, one of the flyers from the NGO, and then he actually told the lady that, oh, there's a support for you and all. So by 10 p.m. that the lady arrived at the airport or was being processed, they called the NGO, the NGO staff got to the airport, and then the process, and as I speak now, she's been supported to set up a grocery shop. So it's really very beneficial, and everything else is going on live. The arrival support, you also receive transportation to go home. So a taxi or whatever is given, the cost is £25 in cedis, the cedis equivalent. Then there is a hygiene pack of also about £25. And then there's a food pack, and then the basic oil and rice and all those things given to the returnee to go home and cook on the first day of arrival. Then you can also request for psychosocial counseling. Some go through trauma, stress, and all kinds of things. So upon arrival, they can be sent to hospitals or to meet counselors to be able to make sure that shape mind to be able to progress further. My last point for now is that the reintegration program is good and has been very, very much supportive in terms of people settling in. And so I hope that the message will go out to everybody that this time, if you really want to return, you can come voluntarily, or if you are in an enforced situation, once you are returned, make sure you look for information on NECPAD, and then NECPAD will treat you more effectively. So this is where I end my presentation, and I would hold on for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, David. Thank you. That's wonderful. And can I reiterate something David just said? There is a misconception that it's only for those who have voluntarily returned to Ghana. That's not true. Even enforced removals. If you can you access it after 3 months, David? Am I correct?
Oh, it goes beyond that. Some even access it.
Okay.
Yeah. So we currently the ideal time is beyond 3 months. You will be treated as a special case, but some have accessed it after 6 months.
That's fantastic. Thank you. So you heard that there are people who are already in Ghana who have already left. If you know anybody, please tell them to go and access it. If they haven't, and as David said, it's gone beyond, they can access it up to 6 months. Because I work with the whole of Africa, there are some African countries where they can only access up to 3 months. So don't quote me on that. Even if the person has arrived beyond 3 months, please get them to at least look into it. Please, if they're not Ghanaians, but they are from Kenya or Zimbabwe, please advise them to look into it. Thank you. Somebody's hand is up. Dr. Ade, your hand is raised.
Thank you, Mr. Appiah, for the wonderful presentation. It's very good. However, the issue of offenders, the prisoners, because when anyone is jailed for more than 12 months in the UK court,
deportation
is they automatically face
deportation.
Some of them haven't got passports. And so the Home Office will find it difficult. Literally, they become stateless. So have you had any occasion when somebody without a Ghanaian passport has traveled to Ghana under the VAR or under the issue of a foreign offender for you to handle their case, please? Thank you.
Okay. So if I may answer, so we have a process of verifying. So there's we have a country liaison or country liaison officers in the Home Office who are in touch with the various embassies and high commissions of those countries, of all countries. So for Ghana, there is presentations are made to the Ghanaian High Commission in London, and finally, if there's a need for further verification, sometimes information is sent to me. Usually, where the source of information is actually the visa. So this is usually for visa overstayers, basically, where the visa information or application information is flagged, and we are asked to verify from Immigration Service and the Foreign Affairs Ministry through the passport office and whether these people have their data stored there. And so once it's confirmed, the information is sent back to the Ghanaian High Commission, and then they issue ETDs, emergency travel documents. Yeah,
that's correct.
So there's nobody who has been returned who stateless, basically.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, David, I will add on to that. Dr. The 18 years as an immigration officer, I never even came across, you can't return a Ghanaian who is not confirmed as Ghanaian. If we don't have biometrics for them, they will have to have an interview with the Ghana High Commission, a phone interview before emergency travel document can be issued. Ghana is one of those countries where it's very, very strict. We will not remove anybody. In fact, they can't even go on the flights to Ghana if they have not been confirmed and verified as Ghanaian, especially somebody who's been deported. So yeah, so I don't believe they have that issues. But thanks very much for the question. Do we have any other questions before so David can log off and enjoy his evening whilst we continue? Any other questions on VRS and reintegration program?
Yeah, my hand is up.
Okay, please go ahead.
Hi, David. Can I take you back to the amount again? Because you did mention 1,500 for the first two. I'm just comparing someone wanting to set up a gym. That is quite capital intensive compared to someone who wants to a little stall for grocery. So is there a cap on the initial money given? And are there specific projects people can get into? Because if someone comes and say, I want to get into farming and they haven't even got a land, how do you work with that? Can you just let us know how?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So there's a cap. In fact, there's just one figure. It's 1,500, not less, not more. And that is what is being applied in all the 19 countries that have signed up for the HOP support. There are people who have ventured into more capital intensive enterprises, and what they have to do is that they have to either partner with friends and family, or they already had established. There's a gentleman in someone who is running a poultry farm. So he told me that before he was returned, he had some money, and then he sent it for the land to be purchased, and then for the hen coop and all those things to be built. So when he returned, the money that he received, or the support that he received through the reintegration program, 1,500 is what he used to get the beds in it and all those things. So unfortunately, and there's been a cry, every returning that you speak to say the money is not enough, and can you increase it, and when is the second tranche of support coming? And I keep saying that we don't have anything in the pipeline. Hopefully maybe one day there'll be a change or an improvement, but there's nothing in the horizon for now. So please, that is exactly what we offer. Any other support will have to come from other sources. So sometimes people go into taxi and ride sharing and all those things. They have to partner with people to be able to purchase.
Thank you. David, can I just clarify, we've got 102 people on here. Can I just clarify to everybody on here, this is just money to help you. It is a program it's funded by the British government with taxpayers' money to help people who are either being removed or voluntarily returned to Ghana, just to help them. It is not everything. This is a little bit that the government is doing as a favor to help people to settle back into the country. So not all countries do it. David, you said the Germans have similar. I think the Danish also have similar, but it's just some people already have plans anyway, but this is just an added bonus for them. If you take the VRS plus this, technically you have 4,500 compared to having nothing. So it is better than nothing if you're being forced to return. I mean, having that support. I mean, sometimes you arrive in Ghana and you don't even know where your family is. You don't have anywhere to stay in Accra before your onward journey. And this is there to help people. I've worked in Lagos way back in 2007, and it was quite sad. At the airport, you see people being brought back with nowhere to go. So when I heard about the reintegration program, it filled me with a lot of hope. So yeah. Thank you, David. Any other questions? Otherwise, we will say goodbye and then move on to the next presentation. Any hands up that I can't see?
Yeah, I think we have quorum or something.
Can you call that person to speak, please? Oh, 3 participants. Okay, hold on. I need to...
We have quorum, we have Team Lego, and we have Kofi.
Who's number 1? Kwam, please, you're number 1. Please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think I tried unmuting, but I wasn't getting through.
Okay.
Yeah, I've just got one question. I think I joined quite late, and I don't know if my question was really spotted on. So pardon me for that. Yeah, I just wanted to ask, is there any criteria to meet or any requirement to meet to be able to access such a support? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Yes, thank you, Kwam. There is no stringent requirements. The fact that you are a Ghanaian and have been successfully returned, you can have access to that. So every kind of person, I mean, from all, as I said, some returning from the prisons can have even access it. So.
Yeah, David, can I add that it is not for those with indefinite leave to remain who want to go back and live in Ghana. You would have had to return to Ghana voluntarily or enforced removal, somebody who basically had no lawful basis to remain in the UK. It's not for people who have indefinite leave or British who just want to return to Ghana and resettle back. Just to make that clear. Thank you. Team Liga, please unmute yourself. And
hello. Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Right. Okay. So mine is on, for instance, if someone is returning voluntarily, or maybe he's been forced to return to Ghana, but he is not keen at maybe learning a trade. However, he wants to go into education, i.e. further his or her education. Is there any avenue of support for such a person?
Yeah, that was included in the presentation, and David rightly commented that nobody had taken that option. Am I correct, David? Yes, that is included, yes.
Yeah, so it's the same amount of money that is disbursed. So the 1,500. So if you can have some training that will take out the 1,500 or you want to top up on your own, that is part of the areas that you can go into.
Thank you, David. Kofi, please unmute yourself. And
good evening, everyone. Mercy, nice to meet you again. And Mr. Atia, nice to meet you. Right. My question is the reverse. If somebody living in Ghana, a British national living in Ghana, and decide that they haven't lived in the UK for many years and decide that they want to return to the UK, where do they start? Do they have any money to come back?
No, we don't have that program. This is, I will explain a little bit more about it. Reintegration is being offered to those with no legal basis to remain in the UK, simply to develop them in Ghana so that they don't use illegal means to return. This is to stop people from returning. That's all it is. That is the reason why basically a few programs, a few projects were established in certain parts of Nigeria, which I was part of years ago, to find out if people were self-sufficient, would they still want to use especially legal routes like the small boats to come to the UK, or use any means necessary to return to go to the UK? And they found that if people were okay and they were self-sufficient, they had a job, and they were quite happy, they would never pay a connection man or whatever to come to the UK and literally be illegal. So this is where this is coming from. So if somebody is forcibly removed from the UK, to stop them looking at illegal ways to return, we try to help set them up so that they don't want to. I have just returned from a conference, an Albanian conference. In Albania, the company that delivers the reintegration is the Medai Trust. And they have an interesting report, which I was just reading, about the success stories and how people feel about the program a few years on. And some of the lived people who have benefited from the program, their lived experiences and comments were, I would never go back to the UK. I wish I'd known this earlier. I'm done. This is so much better. I was working so hard for this shop and that shop, and I was being paid. I wasn't being treated well. So it makes interesting reading. So this is the reason why, if you're coming back to the UK, you are legal. You're coming back to your country. So unfortunately, that will probably be a question, I don't know, for HMRC or Department of Communities, MHCLG will probably have the answer for that. But from immigration point of view, a British person returning to the UK, immigration will have no interest in that person. So that will not be our remit. Mr. Kofi, thank you.
And also, I think the DWP, the Department for Work and Pension, will also look at it, and the councils as well.
Yes, the benefits. That's right. Exactly. The benefits. So
also
brilliant.
ensure that they get housing allocated to individuals.
That's right.
Support.
Yeah, benefits.
And if there are children involved, Section 34 of the Children Act 1989 kicks in, and therefore they have obligation to take care of it.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. It wouldn't be my area, so I wouldn't know. Thank you. Amos. Mr. Amos, thank you for that. Mr. Amos.
Yeah, thank you so much, my dear sister, and then my brother who did the presentation. Very fantastic one. there's a misconception that normally come around this. For instance, those who have just been, whether been forced or whether voluntarily accepted to go, and then they go in for the money on the support, and they wanted to come back to UK legally. I'm not talking about illegal. Wanted to come back to UK legally, and that expenses that has taken place, do they sign in? Because there's misconceptions that the moment you go for the money, if you wanted to come, that there will be a ban on you. You can't come back. So could you please clarify? I just want you to clarify those areas so that it will give a clear mind to those who wanted to come back after they
David,
have
I'll
served
take this one.
the term of a sentence, 10 years banned and other things, and they wanted to come back. Are they allowed? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. There are re-entry bans with VRS, and there are re-entry bans with enforced removals. But the re-entry bans for VRS are shorter. I think the highest is 5 years. So there are re-entry bans. So for VRS, I think the highest is 5 years. It depends how long you have stayed or how you entered the UK and stuff like that. So, but all that can be overridden. It's not set in stone. I have seen people, through at least 2, who have been able to return to join family. By family, I mean spouses, has a British wife or British husband. I have seen that happen. And there's one particular lady that my very first, I think I've shared this story before with one of the groups, at the SDA groups. She bought, that was my very first 2003. That was my first VRS, and I didn't even understand it. So, yeah, and she bought, when she got her money, she bought a sewing machine. And she had a little boy with her and really wanted to go. And I just couldn't understand why she was so desperate. She came to the office and said, can you help me return? And so the whole thing was new. Anyway, in the end, fast forward now, she's very big on Instagram. And I do follow her. She doesn't know it's me, obviously. I do follow her. She's one of the top designers in Nigeria. And she comes all the time. She opens her diary. She puts it on Instagram. My diary's open. Manchester from 1st to the 6th, London from this. She comes to measure people, goes back, makes these expensive outfits, and then ships them over to the UK for fitting and stuff. So some of her dresses goes, if it's for weddings or special occasions, BAFTAs and stuff like that, £5,000. How are you going to deny this person visa to come for a visit or come and shop? She comes shopping all the time. You see, she has set herself up so well. She's so successful. Of course, this was about, 20 years ago, over 20 years ago. And she's so successful. There's no way, they're going to say, oh, because you came 20 years ago with VRS, you cannot go back. She's a force in the fashion world. You can't say no to somebody like that. So it would depend on how you went. People voluntarily return without taking the money, buying their own ticket, doing everything by themselves. With stuff like that, with that situation, I think it's a year. So it goes up to 5 years. If, however, and Dr. can probably share more light on this, if it was a criminal case and you were deported, it's a whole different ballgame. Years ago, it was 10 years. Now, I've been advised that 10 years is no longer the case. You have to apply to have it revoked. And that is a nightmare if you're abroad and you're doing this. Years ago, it was just 10 years, automatically. But at the moment, I have been advised it's no longer 10 years. It's basically no upper limit. You have to apply to have it revoked. I've seen one person who has been able to do it. This was when it was 10 years, and it took 16 years for that person to be able to get it revoked. So, Mr. Amos, I think that answers your question. We have another presentation, so if we have no further questions, we can move on to the next one.
Yeah, thank you, Sister Mercy. You are wonderful. We always want to hear your voice. But the issue you have raised is that the person who has been banned will have to, you correctly mentioned it, they have to apply and they have to give reasons if they have got family in the UK, and especially if they have been a person of good character over the last 2 or 3 or 4 years. And if it is disproportionate, and if they made the wrong decision in terms of the ban. So some of these pragmatic features are very relevant if anybody wants to apply to return to the UK. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Nancy, there are a couple of questions in the chat. I think they're directly to me.
I have not seen.
Okay, they were directly to me, so let me just quickly answer them.
Go on, David.
So the first one is, please, what plans do you have for professionals like nurses or teachers? Can you help them get recruited into their fields? No, we don't work that way. And the reintegration, the return, we don't have any agreements with any professional group to return them or to help them settle back into their professions in their home country. Unfortunately,
access to job market, no?
Yeah.
Don't you, David, don't you have access to job market? No?
Well, it's not. I think what he's trying to say is there any agreement or is there any schedule where we say because these people are this kind of professionals, when they get back to Ghana, they should be allocated hospitals or something, or schools through the various government entities, and we don't have that. So it's an open market engagement.
Okay, thank you.
And the last question is, are you flexible? Are your terms flexible? Individual returnees who have no means of knowing your service exists, I don't understand, and have been in Ghana for over a year. Okay, yes. So what we do is that, and Mercy is the best person to explain where we signpost so that people can come on board. I think that's the crux of this question. He says some people have returned, they have no idea about the reintegration program. And
okay.
Yes, and Mercy, my last comment is that when after the VRS and FRS ban, when the person returns to Ghana and signs up for the reintegration, there's no further ban. So please, it's not an additional thing.
There is no additional ban. Okay, that's fine. That's good to know. Thank you. Mr. Amos, did you hear that? There's no further ban, just the original one from VRS or whatever is the only ban. There's no further ban from accessing the reintegration program. But our hope is that they're so successful that they don't need to travel abroad and stay there illegally or travel abroad illegally. But my hope is that at some point, the person is so well off that they will be like the lady, the designer who comes over just to take a few measurements and charge people £500 each before she will even see them. So let's hope so. I do this with all African countries, and my last one was with Zimbabweans, and it was interesting to see the top 10 jobs that people go for, and poultry farming is very popular in Zimbabweans. In Ghana, what is the top one? I'm sure you mentioned it. Was it taxi?
Yes, so transport, both taxi and this tricycle and all those
What
things.
is that called? The yellow one. I saw the picture. What is that called?
Okay, so it has this Indian name, Prajia, because
yes, that's the one. I was trying to remember that. Yeah.
Yes, and then the next one is barbering shops.
Okay.
People, because that one has a lighter capital intensive.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Thank you.
And then the last one is grocery shops.
Thank you. You know that, Pragya, last time I was in Ghana, I only stood next to one to take a picture, and my mom saw it and started screaming. Apparently it's very dangerous, and she thought I was going to actually hire it or whatever. And she was upstairs and started shouting, "Don't get in." So every time I see one, I start laughing. I remember that incident. Yeah. So any other questions? Have you checked any direct messages to you, David? None?
There were only two, so I think I've read all.
Okay. I will make any, oh, it looks like, is there a hand up still? Am I?
No, just to thank Mr. Appiah for the great work he has done this evening. We very much appreciate that. And we will share the message for people to contact the migration team whenever there's a need for. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Over to you, Mr. Mercy.
Thank you, David.
My last comment is that Birmingham, I have a lot of sentiments for that city because I had a surgery there 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 2024. Yes, I had a serious case and I was there. So I was in UK for 2.5 months. Yeah, basically.
Oh, wow. We are glad you're okay. We are very glad you're okay and you're here with us today. Thank you. Thank you, David. And I will speak to you again soon. I'm off for a couple of weeks after today, so I will speak to you in a couple of weeks' time. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you, and God bless. So you can log off or you can stay and watch my presentation. Up to you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Right. I am going to share my screen again and right. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. This isn't a proper presentation, so the view is not going to be as good as the other one. I'm just briefly, because of the time, going to talk about digital permissions and then the immigration white paper. I did a longer version of this last time and it wasn't great, so I'm using the shorter version because of time as well. We all know what happened with regards to the white paper. The government announced the white paper, was it May last year? And there's been a lot of back and forth about it. I'm just going to talk about just a little bit of it. I had a few meetings where I mentioned the consultation and I sent the link to Dr. Ade and Mr. Amos to encourage people to be part of the consultation, because my job is to give you information, but it's also for you to encourage you to engage. So what this is what the government set out. These are the reasons they gave for the white paper. Bring down net migration and reliance on overseas labor, promote integration and fairness, target top international talent, and restore public confidence. Now, why do we need a reform of the immigration legislation? And basically, they gave us, as part of the consultation, this is the information they put out: settlement application and grants, year ending 2004 to 2024. So the last 20 years, this is how it's been. I think there was a peak in 2010 and another peak in 2013, went down, and again 2023, 2021 as well, when adult social care was added to the list of jobs people can travel to the UK. So the current system relies on the time you've served in the UK. The proposed system is moving to earned settlement. Now, what does that even mean? Earned settlement, and this is where I need you to really concentrate, because there's a lot of information here. What is involved? What is it going to affect? Who is it going to affect? So to the left, those in scope will be skilled workers, healthcare, other work-based, long residence, private life, family roots. Who it's not going to affect is the EU settlement scheme, WINRA scheme, spouses, partners, dependents of British citizens, British nationals overseas, and people who already hold ILR. Before I move on from here, somebody asked me a question. Oh, Mercy, if reform comes into power, they're going to take indefinite leave to remain from people or British passport. Well, at the moment, as the law stands, even the new proposals are not even going to affect those who currently hold indefinite leave to remain as the law stands now. The new coming in, nothing is going to affect. And the spouses and partners and dependents of British citizens are not going to be affected. Yeah, the structure of the end settlement. So now, there are going to be two levels. Four pillars. Character will determine whether you're suitable. What does that mean? If you have a criminal record, or you are a trace on the police national computer, or your character is not what we say conducive to the public good, there could be a suitability problem. Integration, what does that mean? That will be looking at earnings, and English, whether you can read and write English and at what level. That will be the first mandatory. The first two, character and integration, are important before you can move to the next step, which will be contribution and residence. So, gateway will be the mandatory, which will be the character and integration. The baseline will be the residence. And adjustment will look at accelerators and decelerators. And this is where it gets a little bit technical, but I've simplified it from last time. So there will be minimum mandatory requirements for all applicants. All applicants must meet this before they can move to the next level. Suitability. Not have a criminal conviction, no current litigation, NHS debt, tax or other government debt. So you shouldn't owe the government any money. At this point, I always say to people, if you owe the government money, tax money, NHS debt or whatever, please, what you do is you contact the department, look at the letter, telephone number on there, email address or whatever on there, please contact them, tell them your situation, and maybe come to an agreement and start paying £1 a month, £1 a month, £5 a month. Pay whatever you can afford so that you can demonstrate that you are doing something about it. Just to bury your head in the sand is not going to be a good look, because that could affect your suitability. If you have any mitigating circumstances that you can use to get out of that debt, please bring that forward and something can be done. See the legal team, help you write a letter or make representations on your behalf. Do something. Don't leave it as that. Just do some stats now before it comes into law. Integration, past life in the UK test, or an English level at B2. B2 is a degree level. So these two are the first level, the mandatory. And then contribution, have annual earnings above 12,570. Now, why is that relevant, that figure? That is the minimum, that's when you start paying taxes. So everyone in the UK can earn up to 12,570 without paying taxes. Anything over that, you start paying taxes, anything over that. So for a minimum of 3 to 5 years, this was subject to consultation, by the way. So we don't know how it's going to look like after it's passed. So 3 to 5 years, earning over 12,570, earning over the minimum, in line with current threshold for paying income tax and national insurance number contributions. Now, the baseline qualifying period. Now, this is a big one. New new core protection support. Core protection is just asylum. So when if you claim asylum in the UK, it can take you up to 20 years to get indefinite leave to remain. Wherever you see core protection in this, it's just asylum. 15 years. Workers below RQF6 level. Basically, any job below degree level, such as health and adult social care, is below RQF level 6. But this was what was consulted. It appears the health and social care workers who already here may not be affected. It hasn't been announced yet. I think there was a rumor yesterday that it was going to be announced. We don't know yet. This is what was consulted on. We don't know what is going to look like after it's passed, because I'm sure House of Lords will be asking for concessions on certain things, and House of Commons will do the same. So we don't know how it's going to look like and how the policy will be written. But the default route will be 10 years. 10 years will be the bare minimum. There will be no 5-year route, but there's something else which I will come on to. So the default route for most routes will be 10 years. Something like global talent is not going to be affected. It will still stay at 3 years, and I will explain to you why. So baselines can reduce or increase through a time adjustment model. Again, a very confusing bit, but bear with me. So we have things that can reduce your time to settlement. So if you have 10 years and you have C1 English, which is C1 is at degree level. So you earn £30,000 a year and you have C1 English level, your time can be reduced. So it can accelerate your time, can speed up your time from 10 years to less or 20 years to less, depending which route you are on. Decelerators increase. This is okay. Accelerators are the positives. Decelerators are the negatives. Increase time to settlement. And this is a very important one. Public fund use. If you claim benefit, your route to indefinite will be longer. If you entered the UK illegally, your route to settlement will be longer. What is illegal entry? Entering without visa. It's not just those who are arriving by small boats in Dover are illegals. If you entered with somebody else's passport, you entered illegally. Any entry that if you did not see an immigration officer and speak to them, you entered illegally. That's what illegal. Even if you entered legally and you cannot, in some cases, you are not in the immigration system anywhere. So let's use Ghana. If you're Ghanaian and you insist you entered in, let's say 2025, and you are not in the visa system and you have no passport to show that you used a visa to enter the UK, we check your fingerprints and you're not in the visa system, and you still insist and you entered legally, and you don't have evidence, sometimes it can be put down as no evidence of lawful entry, and it's still another name for illegal entry. Now, only the one that causes the largest reduction and the largest increase would be applied. So if you anyway, let's move to the next one. The calculation is the baseline qualifying period minus the single largest positive indicator plus the single largest negative indicator equals to your qualifying period. So let's use this one to help you. Sorry. So let's look at integration pillar. English at degree level. So it would take 1 year. So if you're on a 10-year route and you speak English at a degree level, it would take 1 year off, so it becomes 9. Contribution. So contribution such as 125,140 for 3 years immediately takes 7 years off. And this is why I said the global talent will not be affected, because that global talent visa is a specialist visa for talented people, and those people would tend to earn quite a bit of money. So a musician, someone like, let's use Ghana, Black Sherif, living in the UK, will probably earn around that on a global talent visa because he's a musician or a film actor, artist, IT. A lot of global talent visa holders I've met work in IT, or project management and stuff like that. So yeah. And the second one, a taxable income of 50,270 for 3 years immediately before applying for settlement, takes 5 years off. There are certain occupations, if you are employed in those specific service occupation for 5 years, it will take 5 years off. There is, like I said earlier, there is a rumor that if you work in the care sector, that could be one of those occupations. And those occupations would normally be the ones that we have a shortage. So if you worked in the community, for example, if you've been volunteering in the community, I'm not saying pretend to volunteer as soon as you get your leave, you leave. But if you can demonstrate you have consistently over a period of time done something to help the community, it's between 3 to 5 years, depending on what you've done. So that is the positive side. So going back, if you're on the 10-year route, for example, and you earn 125 immediately before 7, that will be taken out. So 10 minus the 7, the accelerator will be 7 years. So you will be left with 3 years. And then the single negative indicator. So let's say, you did something, you arrived in the UK illegally, for example. So that will completely take it off. That is not a good one. Probably at some point you click, no, you can't have that. So basically, it will depend. If there is nothing, there is no negative thing, then of course you're going for the 3 years. If there is a negative thing that will, for example, add 5, then it will take you to 8 years. So 10 years was your original. The single largest is you earn a lot of money, over 100 and something. So it will knock off 7 years. So you got 3 years. If you've done something or you claimed the benefit at some point and it adds 5 years on that, you will still end up, your qualifying period will be 8 years. I'll work it out again with you at some point. So entry and residence, you hold permission as a parent, partner, child of a British citizen, or what I mentioned earlier, 5 years. This was not subject to the consultation because it was not going to be affected. You hold permission granted under the British national overseas, such as Hong Kong residents who were granted British nationality overseas, 5 years. This was not subject to consultation because they're not going to be affected. You have 3 years continuous resident as the holder of a permission as a global talent worker. Remember, I mentioned global talent automatically takes 7 years off because it's still 3 years. And of course, like I said, they will be earning more money anyway. So you acknowledgement of specific and vulnerable groups having a reduction. This is subject to consultation. So if you belong to a specific group, certain disability, whatever it is, you have mitigating circumstances, that will be considered, but that was subject to consultation. But we don't know how that's going to look like in the final one. Now, qualifying period. So now this is going to be the penalties, the negatives. So this will increase your baseline. We are saying, going back to the baseline for asylum is 20 years. So if you claim in asylum and you you receive public funds, automatically 5 years. So that would take you to 25 years, for example. If you're on a default 10-year route, that will take you to 15. If you're a skilled worker below degree level, then that will take you to 20. Now, so the negatives. In receipt of public funds for less than 12 months, if you claim asylum for less than 12 months, it will add 5 years. 5 years to your already whatever you're on. So if you're on a 10-year route, 15. If you're asylum, 25. If you're on care sector, a visa that is below RQF 6, 20 years. We'll add the 5 to the 15. So in receipt of public funds, for example, for over 12 months, if you claim benefit for more than 12 months, it will add 10 years. This is the big one. If you arrived in the UK illegally, small boats, clandestine, hidden at the back of a lorry, so you didn't speak to an immigration officer, you used somebody's passport to enter, you did not enter with a correct visa, whatever, up to 20 years, up to 20 years. It will add up to 20 years. If you enter the UK on a visit visa, but you didn't leave at the end, and of course you decided to overstay and get married or whatever to somebody who's a non-British national or something like that, up to 20 years. Overstayed a permission for 6 months or more, up to 20 years. So, I mean, if you're on here and you want to take a picture, this is the slide that you need to take a picture of, because this is what everybody's talking about. This is the negative, the penalties. If you claim benefit for less than 12 months, 5 years. Over 12 months, 10. Illegal entry, 20 years. Just remember, illegal entry also has a penalty whereby you could never be British, ever. Of course, they're always subject to mitigating circumstances. So if you entered on a small boat, it's very likely you will never be granted British nationality. Right, that's the part done. This is the bit that I wanted people to know. Like I said, we don't know how that's going to look like if and when finished, but this is what was consulted on loosely. This is what was consulted on. I didn't go too much into the asylum bit because of the audience, but just a short summary of the end settlement, how it's going to look like and what was consulted on. Now, I'm moving on quickly to the universal permission to travel, another important one. Since February this year, everyone except British and Irish citizens and those exempt from immigration control wishing to travel to the UK must have permission to travel. Now, British and Irish citizens, you don't need to do anything. If you're traveling to Ghana and you have dual nationality, you have to absolutely have a British passport with you, valid British passport, because when you're coming back, you will need to show that to board the flight. Even if you went to Ghana with your Ghana passport, always carry both. Take both with you. I'm sure a few of you have noticed that when you are renewing your British passport, they have now been asking you if you have any other passport, send that passport, any other nationality, send that passport as well. That's the reason why. You need to travel with both, and the British passport must be valid, otherwise you cannot come back. eVisa. Those already granted permission to enter or stay have eVisa account. You are not given a physical card or a physical paper or book anymore. Everything is done via eVisa. Yesterday, somebody I know applied for a visa in Ghana, and of course, the grant came in an email with the instructions. ETA. if you have friends and family in the EU, Australia, Canada, countries that don't usually have to pay for visa to come to the UK, they still have to have ETA to visit the UK. I think it's about £15. I will get to that. It's about £15, and I think it lasts you 2 years. So I've done eVisas with you. I'm sure if you're not on this call and you're not British, you already have access to an eVisa account, because every biometric cards are gone. And there is no physical document to show for your permission to reside in the UK. That doesn't exist anymore. The very, very old indefinite leave to remain, which were wet inks or vignettes or just a letter, they all need to migrate onto eVisa. I'll come to that. So these are the legacy documents. That's what we call them. The stamp, the paper, vignettes in the passport. These would be the oldest cases who were granted. When I used to work at the airport, somebody would come to your desk with like 6 passports, and you have to go through the whole of them to find the indefinite leave in the last one. All that is going. So if you're on here, I'll make a special appeal. Let's check on our aunties, uncles, and grandparents and our moms. The older generation will have this type. And please, let's help them open an eVisa account if they do not have a British passport. If you have a British passport, it doesn't matter. If you do not, then please let's help the elderly family members to create an eVisa account. So they can still use the old style, but we encourage them. We all know what happened with the Windrush. We don't want that to happen again. Plus, we are all using biometrics now. So we don't have any issues with people trying to steal other people's identities, because it's all now biometrics, and whoever is claiming to be the owner of certain details just need to check their fingerprints, and it will pop up and we will know who the rightful owner is. So although they can use those documents, it's very advisable that they move on to eVisas. And this is the bit where I would encourage you to take action. It's important we help them to make a no time limit application, NTL. Why? Why do they have to make an application? Because at the moment, we don't have their biometrics. By making the no time limit application, which is free of charge, is free. By making the application, you'll be invited to give your fingerprint biometrics, and then from that, your eVisa will be created for you. You will take your passport, evidence that you have indefinite leave to remain, evidence that you are the rightful owner, and then they will look into that. They will take your fingerprint, and then they will link it to the account for you. Very, very straightforward. So the application they need to make will be no time limit, and it's free. Please take a picture of this slide if you know anybody who will benefit from this. If you go online, you can search no time limit, and it will come up on gov.uk. How to apply. You check your eligibility. If you are not British, you still have a Ghanaian passport with a stamp, a letter or vignette in there. You have a legacy document. You gather all your required documents. You choose the correct application form online. You create a UK VI account. You submit the application online. Provide biometric data, respond to Home Office requests, because they may be requesting more information from you. And of course, you will receive your eVisa. And again, ETA, as I mentioned earlier, even if you need to transit landside through the UK, you will need a digital permission, which is the ETA. So if we have EU national family members, let's encourage them. Let's help them with the applications. If they're coming to visit you, valid for 2 years, or until the passport expires, whichever sooner, and for multiple visits to the UK within this period. It costs £20 per application. Sorry, I thought it was 15. £20 per application. And these are the reasons why. It's just that everybody who comes in now needs to be counted in and counted out. That's all. There's been a lot of issues with Australians and Canadians who traditionally have dual nationality, who try to come in. Oh, I'm British. It does matter. If you don't have a valid passport, you cannot apply for ETA to come in. If you've had a British passport before, if obviously you are eligible, but you've never applied, that's different. But if you have a British passport which has expired, you have to renew it before you can travel to the UK. You cannot apply for ETA if you are British. Again, who needs ETA? Yeah, do not need ETA. Dual British, dual Irish citizens, British or Irish passport holders, those with permission to live, work, or study in the UK, including eVisas, which is ILR. You don't need that. So yeah. And this is a specific slide for dual national. You cannot apply for ETA or any other immigration product if you are British. You have to absolutely travel on a valid British passport. I think this is the end of my presentation. Questions, please, all the time. Thank you. Any questions? I understand, it's a lot of information there, but yeah.
Thank you, Sister Mercy.
Let me put a light on the lights just.
Thank you, Sister Mercy. We very much appreciate the great work you have done in terms of helping individuals who have got problems with the eVisa, the ETA, and the dual citizenship. Now, the issue is with the dual citizenship. Now, the dual citizenship, if a person has a Ghanaian passport and has a British passport, and they decide to travel to Ghana on both passports, they will live here with a British passport. Therefore, they will be fine. When they get to Ghana, they will show them the Ghanaian. These days they have the ID card or the Ghana passport. Is this so compulsory to travel? Because when they are coming back, they will just leave Ghana with their British passport and also come into UK with their British passport. Is it so necessary, compulsory, that they need to still have a visa before they travel out of the country?
No, if you have a Ghana passport, you don't.
No, I mean the British passport and the Ghana passport and the British passport. If they have both passports.
No, you don't. It's never required a visa if you travel with Ghana passport and a British passport. You've never required a visa.
Because
it's never been the case.
There was an incident whereby a family in Milton Keynes, they traveled to Ghana. The man had a stroke. And then the lady went to the British embassy and then told them that the husband has had a stroke. And the embassy official demanded to know what visa they traveled on. And they said, oh, he's got a British passport. Then the embassy official said, where is the visa?
I will explain that.
Thank you.
I will explain that. This is the reason why a lot of Ghanaians don't have Ghanaian passports, myself included, because it is very clear. When you have dual nationality and you are in your home country, you are home. So if I travel to Ghana and I only have a British passport and I fall on hard times or something happens to me, the government will bring me back without any issues. If I go to Ghana with a Ghanaian passport and a British passport and something happens to me and I go to the British High Commission, I will not get the help because I am Ghanaian in Ghana. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you have that country's passport, you are home. They can't help you. In fact, it used to be written in the back of the passport. It used to be written in the passport that if you are in a country where you hold another that country's passport, you can't go. So if there is war, for example, a war breaks and I'm in Ghana with Ghana passport and a British passport, I'm Ghanaian at that point and I'm at home. If you are with me and you have a British passport only, you will be picked up. The person with the Ghanaian passport is not going to be picked up. The person is not a priority. If there is space, they will bring that person. But if there is not, that person is not priority.
Okay.
That's how it is. It's always been like that. Always.
Thank you. Now, Kwam, have you got a question for Sister Mercy? Kwam?
Yes, Doc, thank you. Thanks, our presenter. I really don't know the name. You've done a great job. But my question during your presentation about the settlement, I kept on hearing you saying 10 years route, 10 years route. Now, most of us are in the country with a skilled visa, skilled worker visa, and ours has been 5 years route. I never heard you saying 5 years route. So I heard 10 years, then with certain factors that might reduce the 10 years either to 3 years, depending on where you are.
Yeah, because I'm not talking about what's happening now.
Okay.
I'm talking about the white paper, the proposals of the white paper.
Yeah, so that got me confused. And
that whole presentation was about the white paper. It wasn't what's happening now. The proposal included the COS visa, adult social care visa. The consultation did propose that will move on to 10 years. And I did mention that in my presentation as well, that yesterday it was mentioned in the press that is still going to stay on the 5 years. Or even though under the consultation, it was being looked at. They were looking at it as they were moving that onto a 10-year route as part of the proposal. If you are aware, there's been a huge campaign about that. A lot of MPs and a lot of the unions are lobbying the government so that it stays on the 5-year route. But I didn't talk about what's happening now. I talked about what the white paper proposed.
So now, if there is an individual with a COS of 5 years, I know most of them came in 2023. So are they looking for 2028? So we are now in 2026. So maybe next year or a year after, will they qualify for indefinite leave to remain, having lived in the UK
it
for 5 years? It
depends what the law is at the time and if the law is going to be applied retrospectively. And I said earlier, it looks like it will stay on the 5 years. That was what the press was saying, that it looks like adult social care will stay on 5 years. It's not going to move on to 10 years. It looks like it will stay on the 5 years because of the campaign, and the MPs and Unison especially have been campaigning tirelessly to get that to stay on the 5 years. Of course, if it stays, absolutely fine. But at the moment, we don't know. I think we'll hear something by Monday or Tuesday.
Okay.
But at the moment, it's 5. That hasn't changed at all. It's 5. I know somebody who's preparing to put the application in, the 5-year application. You know, at the moment, it's 5.
Okay.
It hasn't changed. We know the law is changing. And on the white paper, which I just went through really quickly, it's possible that will change. But it looks like it may not change. Yesterday in the news, there was a discussion that it may not change because Andy Burnham is looking at not changing it to 10. So let's wait and see what happens.
Okay. Minister Nane, could you raise your issue, please?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Doc. I'm just going back on what Auntie Mercy said regarding the dual nationality. For clarity, and I believe she mentioned herself that is why she doesn't use Ghanaian passport to travel. So what we are saying basically is that in order for you to be taken or be known as a priority or given the priority, you are advised to travel on your British passport, but rather secure a visa. Is that correct?
You don't really. You're not required to have a visa. You're not required. It's not required. But if something happens to you and you are going to go to the British High Commission to seek help, you are going to have to show that you are British and that you entered on British passport and that you have no other passport or whatever, then fine, get a visa and show that this is how I entered, and that's it. But if you have dual nationality and you have your Ghanaian passport on you and you are in Ghana, you'll be treated as a Ghanaian. That's all I'm saying. That's how it's always been. It's nothing new. So there are people who would go to Ghana on their British and Ghanaian passport without any visa. And something happens, they go to the British High Commission and they go, well, you're British, how did you get here? So straight away, that is them telling you you have another passport and possibly you have a Ghanaian passport because you don't have a visa. That's all they're telling you.
I mean, well, I'm saying this because I have advised somebody. I mean, well, I explained the same thing to the person saying, look, you are not obliged to secure a visa. You have your Ghanaian passport. But however, in the unlikely event that something happens, you need to be aware that you will not be treated as a first-class citizen. As simple as that.
That's right. You will not be treated as British. You'll be home.
Yeah.
You'll be in your home country because you hold a Ghanaian passport. So whatever Ghanaians are going through or you are going through, you are home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
you. It's like us. If we're here, something happens in the UK and Ghana government, like what happened in South Africa. If you're Ghanaian living in South Africa and you hold a South African passport, you're not priority. You're not the person the government came to pick up. The government came to pick up Ghanaians.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So basically, if we're here, something happens in the UK and the Ghana government comes to pick up Ghanaians, if somebody has a Ghanaian passport and indefinite leave to remain in the passport, they will be picked up. They will not pick somebody with British passport because that person is at home. It's the same thing.
Thank you, Sister Mercy. Now we have Kofi, I think Mr. Champon.
Yes, Your Lordship, it's me. So, so I just wanted to, on the back of what has been said already, I just wanted to mention that even for the purpose of travel insurance, if you hold Ghanaian passport as well as British passport and you travel to Ghana without visa, God forbid, should anything happen and you require medical assistance, your travel insurance would consider the fact that you hold Ghana passport. So they would not normally consider you as a priority, as opposed to those who have British passport with a visa. So let us bear that in mind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Any more questions for Sister Mercy, who has worked hard extremely over the last 1 hour, 45 minutes? Please, any more questions? I know most of you are waiting for us at Birmingham, but we have Sister Mercy here who is prepared to also help you with your issue regarding your right to remain in the country. What she has suggested is the white paper for the future, but she is not saying the COS 15 or 10 years or 5 years. So please.
15, yeah.
We have got Aura here. Aura, have you got a question? And after that, Jeff and Comfort in that order.
Yes, please. This Mercy, I wanted to ask, I texted you earlier. So let's say if a husband will get an indefinite to remain this year, which means automatically the kids will be able to apply for a passport. Is that right, please?
The kids will be able to apply for what passport?
For their British passport.
Your husband does not have a British passport?
No, but he will be qualified this year. So assuming
the kids do not become British.
No, they were born here, but let's say one.
Can you speak to Dr.
Yeah. That is what I wanted to come in. Those questions are more or less deal with the law, comes with the legal aspect. So that is why he says that you leave that one to us, and then the other ones that he's dealing with it, he will be able to deal with it as it is. Doc, maybe this one is a quick one. You can answer. Straight away.
Yeah. According to the British Nationality Act 1981, it says at the time of the birth of the child, at the time. So when the children were born, the man had maybe 2.5. And so now that he's going to qualify for the indefinite leave to remain, does not mean that they will have to have a British passport. They will have to wait for maybe 7 years or 10 years. They'll have to wait for 10 years to have the Form T, or they have to wait a little bit longer to have the MN1 form. So sorry, sister. Thank you. Now, Jeff, your question.
Doc, just a minute. Just to add something to it. See, the moment the mother or the father got the indefinite, that child can qualify to apply for nationality. It's not going to apply for the British passport straight away, but he can apply because the mother has been able to attain, because he was born here. That aspect, Doc, I'm adding that aspect to it, so that if your wife has indefinite, and then at the time of the birth, the child was not, the parents were not British or having indefinite, but along the line, maybe 2 years or 1 month, it could be 1 month time that you gain your indefinite. The moment you gain your indefinite, then that child also qualify to apply for nationality, and then you also get the certificate, and then can apply for the British passport. I think that Doc, you have done a lot for others, but probably you've forgotten.
No, not that I've forgotten, but the law says, according to 1981 British Nationality Act, I'm talking about the law. I'm not talking about the nuances. If at the time of birth of the child, the parents do not hold British passport or indefinite leave to remain, they will have to wait for that length of time for Form T for the 10-year route. It's not a question of 2 months later you become a no. At the time of birth, that's what the law says. Go back to 1981 British Nationality Act. Thank you. Now, Sister Comfort, what's your question?
Yeah, my question is, I was given indefinite leave to remain in UK in 2004, and there was no date, there was no specification that is going to expire. They just wrote it to remain in UK indefinite period.
Yeah.
With
that's indefinite leave to remain,
yeah, at 2004. 2004. So I have a green sticker which was placed.
You have a legacy document, yeah.
Yeah, so for that passport, I can use it in and out without any complaint.
You
because
can, but
there's no date. Specific
indefinite
date
leave to remain doesn't have a date. It's indefinite. That's the date. It's indefinite.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I was given the British passport 20 years ago. Now, it is stated that you need to take visa in the British passport when you are coming to Ghana. And I do escape that visa amount of the delayance and use the Ghana passport with the indefinite leave to pass through Manchester Airport and just go to Ghana. and at the same time present it there for stamp, and I just go out. Now, what you are saying concerning the priority of service in case of anything happening, does the law require me to be assisted when I have both passports, which can be used to come back to UK, though I don't have the visa, Ghana visa in the British passport. So I need to know that. And secondly, how do I go along to get the dual citizenship in case I want? Because it has prompted me that I should be doing something about that, or I should use it as I've been doing that. Thank you.
Sorry, I don't understand your second question, but with your first question, you have a British passport. Your Ghana passport is obviously expired, right? Even
it's
if
not
it's not
expired.
It's not expired. Okay.
I renew it now it's 10 years, but before, when it was 5 years, I was renewing it every time. So I never sit down for it to be expired before I travel with it. Before it gets expired, I apply a new one from the British High Commission in Ghana. So I all the time carry the one with the indefinite together with the recent one, and at the same time with the with the British passport. That is it. So I never sit down for it to be expired before I use it for travel. Though the one with the indefinite has expired since 2004. But I have the new one, which I do attach it with the indefinite one in Ghanaian passport to travel anytime I do. So they check the new passport, which has no indefinite, then they will refer the one which they gave me in 2004. Then they will allow me to go because it is still valid.
Here to talk about Ghana passports. Due to time constraints, we have to move on really quickly. I'm not talking about the Ghana passport side. I work for the British immigration. I don't work for Ghana immigration. All I'm trying to say is, a question came in and somebody was telling, Dr. Ade mentioned that somebody went to Ghana with a Ghanaian passport and a British passport. And when they went to seek help, they were obviously trying to be clever. So they said to them, well, if you're British, how did you get here? And of course, the person must have shown the Ghanaian passport to say that, oh, I came on my Ghanaian passport. And they rightfully told the person, no, we can't help you because you are Ghanaian and you are in your home country. This is all we are trying to say. If you are dual citizenship, you have dual citizenship. So you have a Ghana passport and a British passport. If something happens to you in Ghana, you will be treated as a Ghanaian because you are home. If you go to the British High Commission to try and get help as British in Ghana, it will not happen. This is all we are trying to explain to you. So in your question, you said if something happens to you, of course, you are in Ghana, you are in your home country. Same way, if a Turkish person travels to Turkey with a Turkish passport and a British passport, and they go to the British High Commission in Turkey for help, they will tell them you are home. However, if I am in Turkey and I have a British passport only and I go to the High Commission for help, of course they will help me because I am a British person, I'm a foreigner in Turkey. I have no links to Turkey. That's how it works. It's not new. It just came up in this conversation. It's always been like that. It's not new. If you have a dual nationality, if you are in one of those countries where you hold passport, you are home. If I have an American passport and a British passport and I'm in America, I'm at home. If I'm in the UK, I'm at home too. You have two homes. So you can't go to one of your homes and be treated like as if you are a foreigner because you're not a foreigner in that country because you hold their passport. If a white British person is in Ghana and they have a Ghanaian passport, they will be treated as a Ghanaian. It has nothing to do with your color or whatever. If you are a white British person and you are in Ghana and you get into some kind of trouble and you contact the British High Commission and you don't have a visa in your passport, and they ask, okay, so where's your visa? When did you enter? Oh, no, I came on my Ghanaian passport. They will say, goodbye. You are Ghanaian and you are home. So a normal Ghanaian wouldn't be calling the British government for help, would they? So no, if you are home, you everything applies. You are in your home. So yes, your first question is yes. If you take both passports and you get into trouble in Ghana, you'll be treated as Ghanaian. No Ghanaian would go to the British High Commission for help, would they? If they get into any trouble, because they are Ghanaians. They have no links to the British High Commission. The fact that you've got a second nationality does not mean at that point you can go to them, because you also hold a passport in that country. So yes, that's. I hope I've answered your question.
And a further clarification: there was a Ghanaian lady who went to Turkey with the Ghana passport and also the certificate of naturalization as a British citizen. The visa expired, and so she was not allowed to come back to UK. So they asked her to go to Ghana and also show the certificate of naturalization to the British Embassy for them to give her a visa to come back to UK.
Or apply for a British passport to come back here.
That's right.
That's correct.
So thank you, Comfort. Now over to you, Kennedy. And I think that's going to be the last question. Some message tired. Kennedy, please, your question. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Elder and Sister. Yeah, I have a question. You said indefinite is not expired, but I have a sister who went to Ghana. For her, doesn't know that the indefinite has already expired. So when she got to the airport, they said her indefinite has expired. So she have to cancel her flight and go back to the, what do we call it, UK embassy in Ghana for them to give them her a TC, that's traveling certificate, for her to come here. So I don't know. I don't know if it's true or what. Because you were saying indefinite don't have year expiring date on it, but this one was 10 years and it expired.
If it was 10 years, it wasn't indefinite then, was it?
It was indefinite. That's what it is written.
Indefinite. The word indefinite means there is no ending. Indefinite cannot be 10 years. You can't have indefinite and also have 10 years. It's one or the other. Yeah. Indefinite, the word indefinite means forever.
Yeah, that's what it says, indefinite, but valid from this date to that date. That's what it shows.
No, then it's not indefinite. If there is a valid to date, it's not indefinite.
So can I mention something small here?
Okay.
The passport, the document which contained that endorsement, if the passport had expired, and normally those passports issued for 10 years, if that passport had expired, they cannot use it.
Then you can't use it. That's different. That's different then. So if you have a passport like the ones I showed earlier on that presentation, and there is a stamp in a passport, the moment the passport expires, the stamp is expired. Even if the stamp is indefinite, because the passport is expired, the stamp is expired. In my earlier presentation, I mentioned the ETA. That if an EU national, for example, applied for an ETA, is £20 and it's valid for 2 years or until the expiry date of the passport. So whatever you have in your passport is valid. If it is valid on as long as the passport is valid. And also with regards to indefinite leave to remain as well. Sometimes if you stay out for over 24 months, 2 years, outside the country. So you have indefinite leave to remain in the UK and you stay in Ghana for over 2 years. It can invalidate your indefinite leave to remain. You have to reapply to come in. So that may have happened. So you cannot stay outside the UK for over 2 years.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. Now, the last question is Jeff. After that, we will invite the Champon to pray when I've given the closing comments. Jeff, what's your question, please? Jeff? Okay. Well, Jeff is not responding, but we have to, now we had about 115 people.
Yeah.
We had a good number,
Yeah.
And this is all to testify to the fact that, Mercy, you are doing such a wonderful job within the community, because in order, see, the Bible tells us in Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, say people are perishing for lack of knowledge. That's what the Bible says, that people in this country who are foreigners and who are immigrants are perishing for lack of knowledge. But God is using you in a very mighty way to bring knowledge, understanding to people so that they will not be conned or people will not deceive them. But we always want to see you smiling, your smiling face, and your head here as a Ghanaian is always very attractive and very warm. Yes, it is very true that whenever we see you in presentation, and I think the Amos has also made a request that when you come back from holidays, maybe one day you will do a one-to-one session as well, because we also like that. I know the Zoom had pulled in a lot of people, but we always like to see your face.
Yeah, I will try. I will try. There's a lot going on, but we will talk backdoor. There is something else I need to share with you. I will email you. I know I don't talk enough about the Windrush scheme.
Yeah.
A lot of Africans, what I've picked up, the trending issues, what I've picked up within the African community, especially the Commonwealth communities, people don't even know that it could apply to them. Yes, it does apply to some Africans as well. Africans can be eligible for the Windrush scheme if you came, or your parents or your grandparents came before certain dates. I think one of them is in the 70s, 76, and the other one is 88.
Right.
Yeah. Please. So I have I'm organizing, I've secured Tottenham Town Hall for the 21st of August. So I'm organizing a Windrush event, special session with the Windrush Commissioner, Reverend Clive, to come and talk to Africans, and also with the Windrush engagement team to process people there. If anybody's qualified, they could help that person complete the form and stuff like that. So if you are this side of London, Tottenham Town Hall, 21st of August from 2 to 5, you can pop into the town hall to come and speak to somebody if you think you may qualify.
Is it on Zoom?
No, it's face to face.
Oh, face to face. Okay. Yeah, the Amos has a comment. Then after that, the Champon will give her the closing prayer. Amos, your final comment, please.
Yeah, I think that he muted me on that one. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. What I am pleading with all of us who have any issues, tomorrow we will be in Birmingham. As Dr. Ade mentioned earlier, ours are a little bit different from, or more different from, what we heard tonight, because we are going to deal with one-to-one consultation, and we will be probing more into the legal issues. Most of the questions that you ask that are not fall in line with the presentation, we will make sure that we resolve it over there. So come with a consultation. Sometimes you may be confused more or less, but when you come, you will sit down and we address the situation step by step. But when you are coming, please come with your document. If you know you have appeal, if you know you have administrative review, if you have judicial review, whatever your circumstances, if it is a fresh application or if you have a refusal letter, please come with all the documents so that it will help the team to address your problem. That will be the best for all. Other than that, we will not be able to help you the best that you want. And also, tomorrow, what we are going to do is that, as Dr. Ade made mention, when you come, don't come with a personal problem. If you have a personal problem, go and see the consultation. The team will be there to help you to address your problem. This is what I just want to put across for everyone who are coming. And Dr. Ade also will host the open discussion, and that is be dealing with the law as well, and also dealing with other regulations within the Home Office. So come, you enjoy it. That place will be fantastic. Come, and you'll be much blessed. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Mercy.
Quickly, I've just posted something on the sidebar because as you all know that now we have to measure everything, and there's been a lot of restructuring ongoing. So I've put a survey on the sidebar for people to complete. There are 103 people on there. Please try and complete the survey so we have some feedback to show that you want these sessions. And so when I write a business case for this, I have evidence to back it up. Please.
I will send an email.
Please, Doctor, please share it and get a lot of people, as many as possible, to complete. At least we have 102. If we can get at least 50, that would be great.
Okay.
Please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Mercy. We appreciate your presence and support and help and assistance. And now I'm going to ask the champion to bless you.
Doctor, before the prayers, can I make this announcement, please?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and on behalf of Birmingham Bellwood Church, Sister Mercy, we thank you so much. And this is the first time we are seeing you on our platform. And
really?
We hope to see you again. And Doc and Amos and the team, may God bless you. This is the second time you are coming to Birmingham. We are so grateful.
Amen.
So tomorrow, Birmingham Church, I pray that you come to church early. Today tells us what we should expect tomorrow. So please come to church early so that we can have enough time for church service and enough time for consultation and the rest. May God bless you all. Sister Mercy, once again, may God bless you.
Thank you, Reverend. Please encourage them to complete the service so you can see me again.
Yeah,
because the more feedback, positive feedback we receive, the more we will have justification to come out. Please.
We will. Tomorrow we will project it on our screen for people to do it.
And Elder, can you print them off so that people can fill them and then we can put them over
we will do so. We will do so
please.
and post it on
you,
our
Elder.
platforms.
Thank
you.
Hello, Doc.
Thank you, Elder.
Doc,
Thank you.
just pleading with you 1 minute. Tomorrow, Birmingham people have what we call, it's like a lottery note, which have numbers. It's 1 to maybe 100 or 1,000. And then if you want a consultation, go there early. The moment you go there, you have to get your ticket, your number. That number, they will write your name on one of them that they keep. So that even when it's lost, you come to them and you mention your number, they will check and they'll give it to you. Without the number, it will be very difficult for us to see the consultation, to see the number of people. So if you need a consultation, whether you are a church member, whether you are from anywhere, we are always welcoming everyone, and it is for everyone. There is no any limitation. So come, write your name, get your ticket, and come for the consultation. Thank you.
Thank you.
So everybody is welcome. There will be lunch provided, so don't worry. Whether you are Birminghamian or not, just come. Thank you.
Thank you. The Champion, this is opportunity for you to bless our beloved Sister Mercy for the great and hard work she's been putting in to support us all. Thank you, Elder. Thank you. If Elder is not available, we'll pass on to Elder Bev Anefi. Elder Anefi, who is a Bearwood Church elder. Can you please bless our beloved Sister Mercy for us, for the great work she has done for us this evening?
All right, shall we pray? Father, Lord, we thank you for giving us this opportunity. We are very grateful for our sister, and we are very grateful for giving us Dr. Ade and his team. We thank you so much. We've said a lot. Lord, as we depart, we pray that you help us to know what to do and when to do it so that we'll have a peaceful stay. I ask a special blessing for Sister Mercy. Lord, bless her and let her ministry prosper. Increase her and let your blessings be upon her and her descendants. Her household and whatever she touches, let it be a blessing. Give her long life so that she'll be there for us all the time and give us a good heart. Lord, I pray for Dr. Ade and his team as well. I pray that you bless them. Give them good health so that they will continue to do what they are doing to support the community and all of us who need their help. As we depart, Lord, I pray that you continue to protect us, guide us in our sleeps, so that when we get up in the morning, we will be able to go about our duty, especially being it a Sabbath. We thank you so much and we bless you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. And my parting word is established in the book of Proverbs chapter 3, verse 24, which said, we all gonna go to bed tonight, not be afraid, and our sleep shall be sweet. May you all have a wonderful, pleasantly great sleep tonight, Sister Mercy and the whole family.
Amen.
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 Thank you. Thank you. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye. God bless.
In celestial like strains it unceasingly falls, o'er my soul like an infinite calm. Peace, peace, wonderful peace, coming down from the Father above. Sweep over my spirit forever, I pray, in the fathomless billows of love. What a treasure I have in this wonderful peace, buried deep in my innermost soul, so secure that no power can mine it away, while the years of eternity roll. Peace, peace, wonderful peace, coming down from the Father above. Sweep over my spirit forever, I pray, in the fathomless billows of love. I believe when I rise to that city of peace, where the author of peace I shall see, that one strain of the song which the ransom shall sing in the heavenly kingdom will be. Peace, peace, wonderful peace, coming down from the Father above. Sweep over my spirit forever, I pray, in the fathomless billows of love. Weary soul without gladness or comfort or rest, passing down through the pathway of time. Make the Savior your friend ere the shadows grow dark. Oh, accept of this peace so sublime. Peace, peace, wonderful peace, coming down from the Father above. Sweep over my spirit forever, I pray, in the fathomless billows of love. In the fathomless billows of love. But we know not the hour of the Master's appearing, yet